Hey, this is Brent from TradeGuild.net. It is the 15th of July. I'm going to do a quick video. I've got the VIX up on the screen, and finally the VIX made it above 30 today. It didn't hang up there too long. Here's a 5-minute chart of the VIX, and you can see just real briefly was up there. I have an opinion of maybe why the VIX is not really spiking like it has in the past. One, I think a lot of traders are expecting a bounce, and maybe that's partially why we're not seeing it go up like that. Two, I don't think we're seeing the full breadth of a market sell-off, meaning that the energy commodity complex, which is a very big part of a lot of indices and averages, is a very strong portion of the market right now, and that is not selling off with the market. So we're not seeing the overall breadth of the market, just the complete market dump. We're seeing sections and portions of the market dump. I think if we were to see oil, energy, and commodities and everything dump at the same time, we'd see the VIX absolutely spike. But since that hasn't happened, well, today we saw oil finally break, and I've been calling for the bubble to burst in oil since mid-July, actually even early June, actually. But we'll go over that later. Anyway, so VIX made it above 30 today. That was one thing. The QQQs, let's pull those up real quick, and that's where I've kind of centered my attention because, I'm not really too interested in what's going on in the Dow or the S&P at this point. The Qs has been really the only thing that's captivated my interest because they've held up the best. Last night I put forward the theory that what we're seeing is a broadening formation. The volume makes sense for a broadening formation. What we see here makes sense for a broadening formation. That's a daily chart. Let me pull up an hourly chart here. And the behavior today actually made sense for a broadening formation. For most of the day, it looked like we were going to make higher highs, higher lows, and then we actually made a lower low over here. I'm not really sure what that was about. I have to go back and look and see. A couple things were going on there around 3 o'clock, I think, with some bank earnings and stuff. But so there's the QQQs. The QIDs really have been my center of focus as far as looking for signals. So let me pull up the QID real quick and we'll take a look at what happened there at 3 o'clock. And this indicator for me has the most sensitivity. This is my 3C indicator, but this particular one, the blue one, is the most sensitive. And you can see at 3 o'clock over here had a positive divergence. So this thing was making lower lows all day, lower low, lower low. Here's the first indication of a positive divergence, a little higher high it makes right here, and then we get a nice positive divergence there and makes a nice rally over here and makes its first higher high of the day, and then it goes into a leading divergence, which I don't know what's going to happen with that because Intel posted earnings after the bell, and it looks like Intel didn't know what it was going to do. At one point it was up, at one point it was down. I think it's up again now, and Sun Micro as well. Actually, Sun Micro I think did worse than Intel, and they were rallying, and Intel did better than Sun Micro, and they were selling off. So that's just typical market behavior. Anyway, back to the Qs, and one too many Qs there. And I just want to show you real quick again. So there's the formation. If we see a breakthrough 46, I think we could see a run up to 48. We saw the higher highs there. Here's my again my 3C indicator. We see this is what I was basing. I think that we would see the rally on the positive divergence the other day from the 14th, and there's the negative divergence at 3 o'clock in the afternoon today. And but the rest of the time frames all look good. That's still positive. 10 minutes still positive. 15 minutes still positive. Half an hour on the other versions of 3C, they're all still positive in all the other time frames. So this is still looking good for a nice rally, a nice move up. Okay, so we looked at the VIX, we looked at the Qs, XLF. I just want to say something about the XLF. Now, XLF obviously has been a real stinker. I just want to say something though. As far as my indicators are going, it's showing some interesting things. Um, Let me just pull this up real quick. I want to just show you a 15-minute version of this. There's some positive divergences going here. Everybody's expecting the bounce in the Qs. Nobody's expecting, I don't think, a real strong move in XLF. And I'm seeing what looks like accumulation going on in this thing. I think the XLF could be the real sleeper, the one that produces the real short squeeze. So keep your eye on the XLF. While we're talking about these ETFs over here, I just want to show you real quick. I put a put position on today, some options in XLU, and here's a daily chart of XLU. Let me back out a little bit so you can see what I'm looking at. Looks like a head and shoulders top coming down off that right shoulder, and you can see it's a little bit of congestion there, and it's closed roughly around that same level in here. But if we look at a 30-minute chart, you can see there's a little bit of a difference there in that close, that it looks like it's broken down below, and it's just hovering in that area right now. If I throw up my MACD heat map, you can see that the buyers, it's pretty much done, that portion of the rally, and it looks like the shorts are coming in over here. So that's my MACD heat map for anybody who's interested in taking a look at that. So that's XLF, XLU. I want to just point out energy real quick, and then I'm going to wrap this video up. Let's take a look at DJ USEN, DJ USEN in the house. Here we go. And this is Dow Jones US Oil and Gas Index. I've been calling for a, and this has been a tough call to make because this has been a strong sector. And I've been calling this thing as a bubble ready to burst since mid-June, and saying the oil is just a bubble and it's going to burst, and here we go, and it's just broken down miserably today. This was a flag, a bear flag actually, and if I pull up a 15-minute chart, we can take a better look at it. You can see the flag in here. This is kind of almost like an ascending triangle. It almost looks like. And the actual flagpole would be back here. And if we look at it on a daily chart, you can get a better view of what it looks like. So here's the flagpole, there's the flag, and there's the break. So if you want to see where this was going to go, 760 down to 680, you take that move, you measure that, and go from about 700 there, subtract it, whatever that is. I'm not going to do the math right now. I got to get moving. Doug. DUG, I've been buying 30 calls in this since mid-June, and they're obviously paying off. I've already been starting to cash in on some of these, but Doug is a descending wedge, so I'm expecting a move probably as high as $45, maybe even a little bit more. But there's been huge buying, as you can see by the green volume bars. Every time it touched down over here at 2650, 2650, 2650, the big buyers stepped up, and as it broke out of this descending wedge, it formed another little consolidation area here, like a it's not going to be perfect, but sort of a triangle over here. And then it staged a nice little shakeout of that triangle, and it scared the living daylights out of a lot of people over on the boards I was reading. So it staged a little thing like that. And then it got like another little, talking about flags, a little bull flag going over here, and there's the breakout again. So if you want to measure that, 126 up to 32 is your implication there. So you got 6 points from the breakout there, so maybe we'll see 36 by expiration. So if somebody's holding 35 calls, maybe you're good. Maybe they're going to try to pin it 35. I don't know. There's a little bit of resistance, as you can see there, but it looks like it's going to take out that resistance. If we throw up the heat map real quick, I think I have time. You can see the sellers were hot. Now the buyers are cool over here. So we've got a new trend starting up, and the RSI is right on board with it, so it's looking real good. Brant from TradeGuild.